Okay, so you already know what team we're playing. It's Zebra, or Juventus, whatever you want to call them. I don't care. I have installed a name fix, but it's not the most effective name fix because it's left it as Zebra in some places and Juventus in other places. So it doesn't honestly matter. I'm not all that bothered about it. I hope you aren't either. Anyway, it's going to be an interesting challenge. We've got 8 creators, and this is going to be fascinating because the way we've set it up. Let me just pop back over to the game here, and we'll have a look at my profile, attribute-wise. This is my profile, and I boosted it every way as much as I could in all the places that I could. But this is the best we got. We started as a professional footballer at regional level with just a national A license. What that means is that we have a much lower reputation. This is like 3/4 of a star than any of our players. And that is going to make our dynamics hard because your reputation is quite low in relation to your players. That's a big problem. So I will go out on a limb right now and say that somebody probably will get sacked out of the 8 of us. I hope it is not me. But the board will not be, and the players will not be patient with poor results. So we have to start getting results right out of the door, right out of the gate, and we need to make sure that they know that we're ready to fulfill the requirements of the team. So here is the club vision. We have to sign players based in Italy, sign players under the age of 20 for the future, sign high reputation players, and play entertaining football. Now, in my particular case, actually, let's finish looking at the vision. I'll talk about that in a minute. Maintain the club's status as the most reputable team in Italy. We can work on that. Maintain the club's global reputation. Again, we can work on that. Work within the wage budget. Sure. Reach the semi-final of the Champions League. I worry that this is going to be where a lot of us are going to fall down because we're going to have to compete in, unlike most Versus competitions, we're going to have to compete in the UEFA Champions League, and we're going to have to compete well, meaning there's no backing it off and hoping to focus on the Serie A. Coppa Italia reached the final. That one's not required, thankfully, so it might be something you can afford to back off. But and the Supercoppa Italiana, not important. That's good. So that's it for the club's vision. We have a transfer budget of 35 million and a wage budget of 5.16 million. That gives me 22,500 a week in wage budget. That's not very much. I'm looking at bringing in a few much older players as depth players for my squad. This is completely different from my usual practice, but needs must. This is basically a one-season challenge, so I don't want to focus on youth in the same way that I do normally. Which is good, because this is not a young squad. That's not what I want. General info will do the job. Here's the ages. Down to here, everybody's over 30. Down to here, everybody's over 28. All right? That's the rest of the team. So this is not a young team. Let me see what it says in facts. Average age is 28. 2 years older than the rest of the Serie A. So, yeah, we're a few pounds heavier as well, like 3 kilos. That's substantial. We have the top earner, of course. Our average wage is about 200,000 a week. Serie A, about 20% of that. Yeah, so it's going to be an interesting challenge. Now, the way that I do things is I choose the tactic based on what the players provide me. And in looking at this team, in terms of its team report, squad depth, all right, you'll see that we've got quite good depth at forward in terms of we've got 3 really good forwards. If you look a little more closely, we're not quite as deep at the left wing. That's a bit of a problem because 2 of these guys, one of these guys is a forward, which means that we've really only got the 2, and the second one is only 2.5 stars. So it falls off a little precipitously there. But generally speaking, we've got good depth at either side. The midfield is absolutely set. We've got lots of depth there. I'm happy with that. The left side of left side of defense is okay. We've got a great starting fullback, but behind him it gets a little sketchy. So we're looking for a left back, and on the right side we have again good players. This guy's really a winger, but he's a good backup, so we're in good shape there. And again at center back, no problems. Except for the fact that Chiellini is injured and will not be back for 8 or 9 months. That's a problem. We have 2 amazing goalkeepers. He may only be rated at 2.5 stars, but this is Gigi Buffon. What can you say? I mean, look at those numbers. Even with his physical numbers deteriorating at 41 years old, this is still an outstanding goalkeeper. So he will be the backup. He's not going to. Well, actually, I mean, it's going to be a contest, but in my mind, he's the backup because while Szczesny is quite a bit younger, 10 years younger, 12 years younger, he's not quite as good. His numbers are not quite as good. The only place that he's better than Buffon is his agility, which of course has fallen off the cliff for Buffon at 41 and is now down at 7, whereas Szczesny is at 16, and that's a big difference. So given all their other attributes, I think that Szczesny gets the start for me. What this said to me, the grouping that we had, was that we had the depth and the players to play this particular formation of 4-2-4. And so I looked at the possibilities of which styles there were, and my assistant liked tiki-taka, vertical tiki-taka, and catenaccio. Now, I'm not a defensive coach. I just don't really... I mean, my teams often have very good defense, but I'm not defensively focused, right? My version of defense is to have a lot of the ball. So I like control possession. I like tiki-taka. I like vertical tiki-taka. So looking through the possibilities and seeing that the tiki-taka, well, it's good, but I don't think it makes the best use of the abilities in this team and the age of this team because of the slow movement and all the rest of it. It requires a lot of movement out of the players and a lot of energy, which I'm not trying to get with my team full of old people. So the vertical tiki-taka seemed a little bit more direct, and we have great scorers, so let's get the ball in their hands, well, in their feet, at their feet, and see what we can do about putting it in the net. So that's the plan. That's how we got to where we are. As usual, that's always my approach, is let the players show me what tactic suits. I don't have a preferred tactic. I just use whatever comes along. The only real preference that I have is I don't like using wide midfielders. I don't know what it is about it. I just don't like using them. I almost never use a wide midfielder. I'll pack the midfield with 3 and a DM and an AMC, but I will not use wide midfield spots. Wingers, sure. Fullbacks, no problem. Wingbacks even, no problem. Wide midfielders just feel wrong to me. I don't know why. I never play a 4-4-2 because of that. So anyway, there's the team. Here is a team. It's just set up for the friendlies at the moment. We've got a friendly with MLS All-Stars in 4 days. That's going to be fun. But yeah, that's how I'm setting up the team for a start. I mentioned the dynamics. The cohesion is a little poor. The dressing room atmosphere is fairly good. Managerial support is about where I'd expect it to be. I'm going to have to put in a lot of effort to build those relationships as quickly as possible with the players. Distributing praise where needed, criticizing where needed. Criticizing helps build relationships too. It's a matter of demanding more from them, in effect. So that's going to be my approach, as always, even though it's only a 1-year challenge. My approach will be the same as always, to build the dynamics, build the relationships with the players, and use that to make the tactic work better, right? Because when you have great dynamics, when you have great team cohesion, for instance, you experience better vision, better reactions to events, better player positioning. All of that works better when you've got high team cohesion. So the way that I'll be doing that, and let's have a look at it here. Right, see how there's no team bonding in here, right? That's no good. You can't do that. You've got to have team bonding, all right? It's necessary. So we're going to throw in some team bonding here, just like so. Extracurricular team bonding, all right? So where can we put one in here? Team bonding for this week. This one here, I like to put them on Wednesday or Thursday if I can, but it's not always possible. There, it'll have to be on Friday there. Team bonding. Oh, what? Oh, we got one in this week. Okay, sorry, there was already one here. That's fine. So we're going to have to, I'll go ahead and do that throughout the whole summer, and right up to the end of preseason, to max out the chance that we will have to improve team cohesion and thereby become more effective. One more team bonding there. That should do it, and then the season starts. So we'll leave it out from there. I've already put in match reviews after every match, or as many matches as I could squeeze them in. Sometimes it didn't work out that I could squeeze them in, but match review is a really useful thing. If you don't do it already, you really should. Basically, it's after a game, you watch the game. It impacts tactical familiarity in all of these areas, and the team cohesion is increased, right? It's so important. I use it all year round because team cohesion can make your tactics into overpowered things. So that's where we're at so far. We've made no transfers yet, but they will be coming. I've been looking at, let's have a peek at who we've been looking at. Scouted, no. Let's have the short list. There we go. So as you can see, they're all over 30. They are in various places. Strikers, because I want the possibility of finding a backup for for Ronaldo and Higuain, let's be honest, they're not the youngest players in the world, so I'd like to have a third. And the best way to make sure that I get them at with high value, but not expensively, is by buying older players. So that's what we're looking at. Here's our left back proposition to replace, or not to replace, but to back up Alexandro on the left, that kind of thing. So just good players who are older and won't mind being a squad player at Juventus. That's my thinking. Yeah, there you go. I'll be back with any information that I have, with updates on transfers, anything we get. I'll be back with updates. See you soon. Well, that didn't take long. It's literally like 10 seconds because I forgot that I wanted to show you the team meeting. I know a lot of people are terrified of team meetings and have a fear that it's always terrible and so on, but that's not my experience. I know that many of you may not have heard of me, so I wanted to personally introduce myself. This acknowledges that I don't have a great reputation. I think it's a good idea. Yay! Your reputation is sure to increase if you meet expectations. Now, they want us to win the title, so I'm confident that I can say I'm very positive on our chances, and I think we can go on and win the title this season. We can win the title, boys. Come on! Exactly the sort of reaction I was after. I finalized the code of conduct. That's a great response. Thank you. Good. Everything is happy. Look at all the happy. Especially look at who is happy. Buffon, Ronaldo, Chiellini, Bonucci. These are the leaders of the team. All right? These are the leaders of the team. This is very good. And these guys are improved too. They're just not improved as much as these guys. So, yeah, that went well. Happiness. Let me just quickly just see what it has done, if anything, to the yes. Managerial support is up. So that's what I wanted. That's what we're aiming for. Want to see whether it's actually changed at all. Yeah, look at the dressing room atmosphere as well. Gone up by a bunch. And this has gone up notably. You can actually see the dark red spot just to the left of it where it's gotten better. Actually, so is cohesion. Wow, that was a good team meeting. All right, so there you go. A good team meeting. Always use the expectation that the board has, because the board has, the way they set expectations is based on your reputation compared to the reputation of the teams around you. So if your reputation will sustain it, your board will expect you to win the league. Well, if the board expects you to win the league, you can bet the players expect you to win the league too. So it's a good idea to, generally speaking, go with what the board expects when you hold your preseason team meeting. And you should find that they will, generally speaking, like your level of ambition. That's the way I see it anyway. Back in a minute. Right, I thought I'd record the press conference here. I don't know whether we'll leave it in, but let's see. Hi, well, what are your initial thoughts on taking the Zebra job? I'm looking forward to getting to work. There's a lot to do here, but I'm proud to be given this is a great club. This is the one I want. I'm very excited. It's a great club, and I can't wait to get stuck in. It's a massive club that would appeal to anyone. They're built for success. Do you have any reservations about taking the job? You should be asking the board if they had reservations about me. I'm happy to be their chosen manager and hope to repay that faith. You've taken this job without being able to speak Italian. Ah, yes, but I just don't think it's going to be a problem. Traditionally, football is a man's game. Do you think sexism exists in football? See, these are questions you don't get when you manage as a man. I think it definitely exists in places. Very few women involved in football, and even fewer have had to make the step up to management. Surely it will tough on you being one of the few women around. I think it's an obvious disadvantage, but one I expected to face. I would like to think my qualities as a manager will overcome any such issues. The expectation of a team with Zebra's stature are enormous. Do you feel you'll be able to continue the tradition of success? I think that has to be the target at a club like this. You're not much of a reputation to speak of. Can a little-known manager such as yourself really run a club like this? This is an interesting question. Some might have preferred a more recognizable name, but they've got me, and we'll have to get used to it as I'm here to stay. You're a noted polyglot. How useful is your multilingualism in today's footballing culture? My character, like me, speaks German, Russian, and French, as well as English. You can only add 3 languages, so it doesn't have all my languages, but it does have a few. I'm certain it'll give me a great advantage. Does the squad have the necessary quality for you to achieve your target? Absolutely. Yes. What's the mood in the camp? Everyone's very upbeat. What role can the supporters play? Let's see. I have to prove to them that I'm the right manager for their club. Hopefully I can earn their support. That works. How far can you take this club? We're going to aim high. Yep. How hard do you expect to work the players on the training ground? Well, I expect everyone to work the hard work. Will you be looking towards the likes of Matthijs de Ligt as the focal point of this team now? I don't like focusing on one player. If we're going to be successful, every player here will need to contribute. Yes. Will Chiellini remain your captain? Oh, this is a question. This is a question. He's injured, and that is a problem. Because I'd like to have a playing captain, but oh, I was going to think about this, but I think so. I think so, yeah. No, I'm not going to talk about transfer policy right now. It's widely expected that Dybala will leave the club. Can you hold on to him? Do you want to? I'd like to keep him around. I know that may not be possible. I think things work best when players feel valued as people as well as footballers. That's absolutely how I feel. So there we go. Interesting. Let's see if there's any reactions to the press conference. Excited about new challenge? Nothing. Okay. Nobody made any big surprises. Paolo Gozzi. Yeah, I think I already said he could go. I said he could go on loan. I didn't actually say he could go. But realistically, he's not. Not likely to make it. So that's fine. So that. All right, back in second. Well, after a horrific start to our friendlies, I have made some changes. I have made some changes. We're on control possession now, and we're running a 4-2-3-1. We'll see whether that works a little better, but my goodness, so far things have been really bad. And I don't know why. I really don't know why. It's not doing our dressing room atmosphere any good, and it's, yeah, not helping. Overall, not helping. So let's see how we get on. We've got a game tomorrow, so I'm just going to push forward to that. Oh, the scouting meeting. All right, I'll stop here and I'll take the scouting meeting. I'll be back in a minute. All right, that's going to do it for episode 0 of the Versus4 challenge. I hope you enjoyed the episode. I hope you enjoyed a look into how I set my team up when I get started. And I'm really looking forward to this challenge. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. It's got some great creators involved, and I'm really looking forward to the various approaches that they take, and seeing whose approach ends up winning. So it should be an exciting season. I hope you'll stick with us. Thank you very much for watching. I appreciate your time. Have a great day and take care.